Hi you guys, I'm back today with the very final part in the series that I am doing on the collaboration between Sydney Grace and Temptalia, and the palette that I'm talking about today is Radiant Reflection. This is the very last one. It is so beautiful. You guys already know, you've watched me talk about each of the packages. They are just gorgeous. I love that they all connect together. I find this one to be very intriguing. I don't know, it's very interesting to me. So this is what it looks like. The actual palette itself is the exact same. It does have the name on the actual spine right here, which I think is really cool. I actually have not brought that up in other videos, but I definitely think it's a nice touch. When you open it up, this is the color story that is on the inside, and it is so beautiful. Again, we have a lot of the jewel tone, kind of neutral-ish tones mixed in with it. It is just a very beautiful color story. And for $40, I feel that this is an extremely good deal for the quality of shadows that you are getting here. Now, you can get all three for $100, and you can use a coupon code to save on that. So that is a really good deal no matter how you slice it. So now that I've used all three, I don't know if I can still give an answer on which one is my favorite. I think it might be Quintessence, but I like different shades in each of the palettes. Now, I've seen people actually take apart the palettes and rearrange them into ways that they like better, and I could do that, but I like them so much the way that they are that I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to play between the different palettes when I want to. I think that the Milky Way and the Quintessence palette would pair beautifully with all of these shades right here. Like I think that added to this look would have just been like cherry on the top, although I am really happy with the way that this one turned out. I did another look. I used this half of the palette. You guys will be able to see that as well. I want to go ahead and swatch this for you guys, and then I want to do this eye look and another eye look, and I'll come back at the very end with my final thoughts for you guys on the whole collaboration. This is called Unstoppable Love. And that's a really nice kind of plum purple. The shade is called Opera Rose. And that's a really beautiful kind of maroon with a purple base and a little bit of an orange shift to it as well. It is very interesting. Called Temptalia. And that is a really beautiful kind of silver tinted purple shade. It is gorgeous. It does have a small itty bitty hint of pink to it. Shade is called Forget Her Not. And that's a really beautiful, like, deep blue that has a purple flip to it. Our Starry Night. Have anything else from Sydney Grace that is like this. This is actually a much thicker particle of glittery type of shade. It's a really nice blue. It does have a little bit of silver flash to it. The other thing I would say is the base texture is kind of different as well. It is kind of waxy and emollient, but it's still really, really nice. The next shade is called Gloss Over. It's a super interesting shade of blue. It's like a frosty sky blue. Shade is called Sumptuous Serendipity. And that is a really beautiful kind of purple-based maroon, again, kind of like this, but it doesn't have an, well, it does almost have a small bit of orange, but it's very different from this. It's much more purple. A bit of brown to it as well. Next shade is called Phosphines. Really beautiful kind of taupey, purpley, silvery type of shade. It's gorgeous. It is truly a very beautiful shade. It is called Dearest Constant. And this is probably my favorite base shade out of all of the palettes. It's like a beautiful kind of pinkish tawny tan shade. It is gorgeous. Exquisite Opulence. And I have to say that everything about this shade is giving me Pat McGrath vibes. The name, the color. It's like a true beautiful gold with a slight hint of orange to it. It's fantastic. Jealousy's Descent. And that's a gorgeous, like, Christmas green shade. It is, it's Christmas green. It is called Sublime Reverie. Now, you guys may notice this actually looks quite a bit different than it does in the pan, in my opinion. It is far more blue on my arm than it is in the pan. It looks like way more, like, true green aqua than it does right now. This is the whole Radiant Reflection palette. This is what it looks like in low light. You may hear my cats. They are running amok. Which made me just think of Hocus Pocus. Amok, amok, amok. Because they are. Alright, you guys, I'm back and I want to give you my final thoughts on the entire collaboration and this palette specifically. So, first things first, the palette that I'm talking about right now is Radiant Reflection. It is just the packaging, the packaging, the packaging. I feel like I've said it a bunch of times because I have, but really, it is so beautiful. I love all the inspirations that she must have had to make these because I really am in tune with like kind of the same vibe. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. When you open it up, it looks like this, and it is just... it is very beautiful. I think all of the palettes are really nice together. I think that they all complement each other. I think if one of the palettes speaks to you more than the other, just pick up that one if you can. And then if you are like me and you're completionist, I don't think you will be at all disappointed by any of the shades that are in this collection. Now, I didn't talk about this in the first half of the video, but I'm going to do it right now. I did also pick up the extra shade that she did called Dear Reader, and this is a very beautiful purple shade. I am actually going to do a little swatch on my hand for you. Since it doesn't go with the palette, I don't necessarily want to swatch it with the palette because we're just going to keep them all to themselves. But this is what it looks like. It is just a really beautiful, I mean, it's got like a pinkish tone and a purple tone. It's mostly purple, but it's also kind of pink. It has a little bit of silvery gold to it as well. I find it to be so satisfying. I actually used it in the inner corner of one of my looks, and I actually cannot wait to use it on its own. It is just so... I feel like this definitely should have made it into one of the palettes, but I get it. She had a lot of different colors I was working with, and they were all beautiful, and so I am glad that they turned this into a single because I definitely would have missed out on this, I feel, in my mind. But for me, I'm really into this type of tone, and so I had to go ahead and pick it up with the collection because it is just so beautiful. Now, this shade itself was $6, and then the palette was $40 if you decided to get the whole set. It is $100, and again, you can use a coupon code to save some money on that price. Personally, I have to say quality throughout all of the palettes was extremely good. I did not find anything lacking in that department. I had one shade, and I can't think of what it was. It was like something Infinite, maybe Infinite Echo or something like that in the last palette, that it swatched strange, but it worked perfectly. Every single shadow that I used, and I used all of them at one point or another, were great. I am not let down by these palettes at all. I don't think that you will be let down by these palettes. If you're either really into the color stories, or you wanted to support Sydney Grace or try Sydney Grace, or you like Temptalia and you want to support Temptalia, I think that this was a great way to add to your collection for an affordable price because these are quality products. That's all I'm saying. So, you guys, I know that I said I don't really have a choice, but I think if I had to absolutely pick one palette, I would pick Quintessence, which was the first palette that I actually reviewed. It had that shade, the Milky Way, and to me, that just stole my heart, and I don't think I can do without it at this point. I really enjoy that shadow. I would add it to every single one of these. I wish it was in every single one of them, actually, kind of, because I think I'm going to go through that shade pretty quickly. I've already made some really good divots in the pan, so that just tells you how much I really enjoyed using it. So to summarize all of my thoughts, I think they did a great job. This collaboration was beautiful. I do think they could have done one big palette, but in the same token, I really enjoy that they are three separate ones and that they all play together the way that they do. I really hope that these videos have been helpful to you guys in making a decision on whether you want to pick them up or which one you want to pick up. I definitely think that you will enjoy whatever one you do decide to get. And if this video was helpful to you, make sure you leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.